Welcome to class with biology children. We are discussing chapter 6. Today we are going to conclude chapter 6. Here in page number 93 we have a topic, what is national park and a sanctuary. What is a national park and a sanctuary? Here we are going to understand a national park and a sanctuaries. Okay. A national park is a large area which to conserve the wildlife, particularly the wild animal species in their natural habitats. In national parks, we can see wild animals. These wild animals can be protected in their natural habitats. What do you know about natural habitat? What do you know about habitat? Habitat means a place where it prefers to live an organism is called a habitat. So in this habitat we can see various types of wild animals in their natural habits. Those are called national parks. For example, lions, tigers, rhinoceros, etc. These all we can see in the national parks. No human activity is allowed in any form. In these national parks, no human activities. We cannot see any human activities. Human activities are restricted and prohibited in these national parks. Even grazing of domestic animals also prohibited. Grazing of domestic animals. What do you know about domestic animals? Cows, buffaloes, like goat, sheep. These are called domestic animals. So grazing of these domestic animals also prohibited in these national parks. Example, Jim Corbett National Park. Next to Nainital district of Uttarakhand. Where it is located? Nainital district of Uttarakhand. In Uttarakhand, Nainital district is there. In that district, we can see a Jim Corbett National Park. Jim Corbett National Park. Jim Corbett National Park we can see in the Uttarakhand Nainital district. Okay. Now we are going to understand sanctuary. A sanctuary is a place where conservation of species takes place with an objective of allowing human activity in a limited way without affecting the habitat. But in case of this sanctuary, human activities are there, but these activities are permitted to certain extents only. Okay, let us see example. Pakal Sanctuary, it was situated in Warangal. Pakal Sanctuary is situated in Warangal. Now in page number 94 we have a topic. The topic is importance of biodiversity conservation. What do you know about conservation? Conservation nothing but protection. Next, what do you know about biodiversity? Variety of living things that populates on the earth's surface is called biodiversity. So conservation of biodiversity is an important issue to protect our nature for the future generations. If we conserve our nature, then what will happen? Future generations, they will enjoy the comforts. Okay, otherwise they didn't know about tiger and other animals, parrot, sparrow, like some animals they didn't know. Just they have to observe those pictures on newspapers or on tvs, etc. Okay, so for that reason we have to conserve the biodiversity. Let us discuss. We have page number 94, project work, studying migration and its effects on biodiversity of an area. What will happen because of migration? We are going to observe. Okay, look at the sky in the morning and evening. All of you observe this figure 9. If you observe the sky in the morning and also in the evening, do you observe birds flying in groups? Say yes or no? Yes, we can see. If possible, use a binocular for a better vision. So if you had a binocular, you may use binocular. Next, note the types of birds observed every day at least a period of 6 months. So what you have to do? You have to do this activity up to 6 months, and every day you have to observe by using a binocular if you had binocular. Next, did you get the same number of and types of birds every day? Did you get the same number? No. Answer is no. Was there any sudden variation in a particular season? Yes, we can see sudden variations in some seasons. In case of severe summer, we can see limited number of birds only. Did you notice any new type of bird population in any season? Yes, we can see some new birds in the bird population in some seasons. Discuss with your friends about the effect of presence of such population. Okay, discuss with your teachers and friends about the bird population. Why do these birds move from one place to another place? Why do these birds move from one place to another place? For feeding and also for reproduction purpose, they will move from one place to another place. This is called, scientifically this is called migration. What this called? This is called migration. Okay, sometimes at night we see birds flying in groups. Where do they fly? Think. Come to page number 94, page number 95. 94 is completed. Sometimes some birds live in the same habitat throughout the year. Sometimes we can see the same birds in our surroundings throughout the year. Next, other birds which do not have permanent nestlings and join into small flocks and move from one region to other for food and shelter, called migration, and such birds are called migratory birds. The birds which moves from one place to another place for feeding and also for reproduction purpose, they are called migratory birds, and that process is called migration. Did you understand? Migratory birds, the birds which moves from one place to another place for feeding and also for reproduction purpose, those birds are called migratory birds, and that process is called migration. During rainy season, most of the birds from far away places migrate to Kolleru and Pulikattu lakes of our state. Okay, so during rainy season, we can see so many birds. They will come to Kolleru and Pulikattu lake of our state. Our state means our AP. Okay, next they build their nests on trees in the nearby villages also. So they will come for feeding and also for reproduction. So in order to live, they will construct nests in the nearby villages. See the activity 6. Siberian cranes to escape their winter and food shortage migrate from Siberia. Siberia is in Russia to India. All of you observe. Siberian cranes looks like this crane. Okay, these cranes will comes to India every year. They will comes to India in which seasons? Winter season. In winter season, in case of in Russia and or in Siberia, there is a chance to see food shortage. So they will migrate to India for the collection of food materials. Next, in page number 95, we have another topic, a small step towards saving forests, recycling of paper. Okay, some important steps are there. These steps are useful to save the forest. Engineering college student sent a message to his teacher on mobile. Please stop the examination, save trees. Engineering student, he was sent a message to his teacher. What message? Please stop examination and save trees. We will write exams on papers. So if you continuously conduct examination, then what will happen? You will require more number of papers. As a result of this, we need to deforest. We need to cut down so many plants. For that reason, he kept a message, please stop the examination, save trees. Okay, to his teacher. Even though it's a funny comment, it raises the need of thought towards reducing usage of paper and importance of recycling of paper. So even though it's a funny comment, okay, It can tell us importance about production of trees and recycling of paper. Love you observe this fact. To make a ton of paper, 17 trees have to be cut down. To make a ton of papers, how many trees have to be cut down? 17 trees have to be cut down. Wasting paper or using more paper means felling more number of trees, causing deforestation. If you use more number of papers, then what will happen? It may useful to felling of more number of trees, which causes deforestation. Next, using more paper involves using more chemicals that's harmful to us and nature too. So if you use more number of papers, then what will happen? So in papers preparation, more number of chemicals will be useful. So as a result of this, nature will be polluted. Another interesting fact is that the paper can be reused by recycling it 5 to 7 times. So if you recycle the paper, how many times you can recycle the paper? 5 to 7 times you can recycle the paper. Let us see some important points from chapter 6. Conserving the biodiversity in a wider perspective is utilizing the forest resources judiciously without affecting the ecosystems so that we can have a sustainable development and the biodiversity can be conserved and life on the earth survive forever. So, if you conserve the biodiversity, if you save all the animals and all the plants present in your surroundings, then what will happen? We will get a sustainable development. Sustainable development. What we will get? We will get sustainable development. So, the resources can be lived forever on this earth surface. We can supply natural resources to our future generations also. Nature is for humans' need, not for his greed. Nature is for humans' need. It is only for our need, but not for our greed. Okay, we usually think of how to utilize natural nature for our own benefits. What we have to think? We have to think about how to utilize nature for our own benefits. We never think of what do to conserve nature. We are always thinking about how to use nature, but we are not thinking about how to conserve the nature. Okay, human being is only a part of the nature. We are only a part of nature. He is not the whole. We are not the whole. If we protect the nature, it protects us. Very important one. If you protect the nature, it protects us. This earth belongs to all animals and plants, and every organism have to equal right to live. On this earth surface, we can see millions of tiny plants and millions, so many millions of plants and animals we can see. These all the living organisms, they are having a equal right to live on this earth surface. Human beings must be sensitized in this aspect to protect biodiversity. So don't try to kill other plants and other animals or other birds. Okay, they are also having equal right to live on this earth surface like us. Okay, children, chapter 6 biodiversity and its conservation is completed. In our next class, we are going to start chapter 7 different ecosystem. Okay, children, thank you.